Hey there everybody, and welcome back to more Haunting Ground. Well, I'm sure you all are getting tired of seeing this guest room. I know I am. And as such, we're actually going to be finishing up this portion of the castle today. But before we get around to what we need to do for that, I actually was a bit curious what Daniela was cooking. I mean, it seemed Fiona had some odd reaction to it before, but we weren't able to actually investigate it due to Daniela being there. But she's no longer there, and thus we can actually investigate what she was cooking. Yeah, it seems that the general consensus in the Haunting Ground community is that Daniela was actually cooking up Fiona's mother. Yeah, I think we're going to stay away from indulging in that cuisine for right now, and instead we're going to head back up to that crumbled balcony. You may recall that ladder I did not scale earlier. Now, we did actually lower the drawbridge up there, but I wanted to hold off on doing what was behind that door up there. Just had a few other things to get to, but now we can go ahead and investigate what's beyond the door. Now, there was actually many reasons why I decided not to go up here just yet. One of the main reasons being I don't really like box pushing puzzles. I actually kind of hate them. But this one's not really that difficult. It's more just tedious. But thankfully, you guys don't have to deal with that in normal speed. Oh no, we have a lot of speed up here. I think in the end, this took about 3 minutes to do. There's really no way to do it faster as far as I can tell. But all we really have to do is, well, push these blocks over to their proper side with all the other similarly colored blocks. Really the only one that could cause you any kind of problems is this particular blue triangle box. And just like that, we have triggered what appeared to be a chicken Ouroboros, which leads us downstairs. But before we go down there, I do want to have you keep in mind that there is a locked door up here on the second floor. And I'm actually fairly certain this was the door that was mentioned in that note we got from Lorenzo earlier. So I'm sure we'll be heading back there just as soon as we find the proper key for it. Now already downstairs we can see 2 more of those lunar panels that were mentioned before, and we've already messed around with one of them. And we can also see that there is a very large but closed door here with a moon on it. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out what we need to do here, especially since we've already messed with one of the lunar panels. I assume that possibly you were supposed to have come down here earlier, but something we'll see on the final lunar panel here is that something is missing. But thankfully, since we made sure to go to the study before we came down here, we won't actually have to do any unnecessary backtracking. All we have to do is pop in that lunar refractor we found earlier. And yet again, I apologize for the rainbow effect that will sometimes appear in the reflections. We won't be seeing that too much more. And just like that, we actually have access to the final place we need to go to solve this area of the game. You may actually recall that we had a large room marked off on the map when we initially got it, and this is actually where we are heading right now. But there is a little placard over here, or plaque I should say, that will inform us of an upcoming puzzle, and it mentions that we really shouldn't go ahead without a guide. Now, that doesn't mean that we should go look up game facts for this. No, it actually means that we should have Huey along with us. And either way, it might be best that we have him along, but, well, that becomes kind of troublesome as we have no idea where he is. For all we know, he could still be up at that crumbled balcony, and from where we are right now, that could be quite a trek back. Also, it doesn't help to be followed by some damn luminescence, but by unlocking this door here, we actually find we are in a recognizable place, which was actually near that hole where we led Huey into to get the study key.
Come on.
But yet again, this is kind of a problem that we might run into sometimes, is that we have no earthly idea where Huey is right now, and we do definitely need him. And you can probably guess what that sound means. It means that Debilitas is right in front of us. Great. And not only is it just Debilitas, but he also has a few luminescents behind him, but it does allow me to show off this rather hard to see hiding spot. And I guess it doesn't hurt too badly to show off the hiding for right now. I did realize, looking back on some of the updates, that we haven't really been hiding all that much. Mostly we've been showing off some of the traps you can actually set off against Debilitas here. But it will definitely change as we continue on. There will be less and less traps to use and more deadly encounters with future stalkers. But Debilitas is just a good beginning example of what we should have in store. Which is sometimes annoying situations. Yeah, I think I mentioned in probably the first update that sometimes Debilitas, after getting a coast clear, will decide to immediately turn around and put us back into a hiding state. And in this case, he just magically finds us, even though he, for some reason, didn't before. Maybe he was just fucking with us. But I do know of one surefire way to lose him entirely. And that's not getting smacked in the face. That's actually running down to that particular room that mentioned having a guide before. I am actually fairly certain that there are just particular rooms that stalkers are unable to get into. Mostly due to the fact that it would make some puzzles nigh on impossible to do. And yes, I'm still a master at opening doors. But, I don't know. Maybe Debilitas is just horribly afraid of the darkness. But I can definitely see where we are going to be needing Huey for this. I get the feeling that some of that darkness is actually just a bottomless pit. Question is, where on earth could Huey be? If you said inches away from where we were, that's actually really nice. Well, outside of the hiding and the luminescence, I really could do without the luminescence in this game. Ah, God. Alright. Yeah, so now that Huey is here with us,
come on.
We can now figure out this darkness puzzle here. It's actually fairly simple. All we have to do is direct Huey. Well, come on, Huey. And using his keen dog-like senses, he will guide us across the safe areas of the floor.
Good boy. Go, Huey.
I actually really do like the visual setup of this room, and in all reality, well, you can kind of cheat this puzzle by turning up the brightness on your TV or the in-game settings just to the maximum. You can pretty much see where the floor is and where it isn't. We'll congratulate Huey for being a good dog one more time, and then we'll see what is waiting for us behind that marked room on the map. Seems to be a very large chapel. I'm not actually sure who would be down here worshipping or what they might be worshipping, but well, I do want to offer a quick apology. I know it's a little bit on the dark side. This will really only be the area of the game that's, well, just that's dark. I assume it's because we're deep underground or something, but I don't think it's too bad. We learn this particular staff is holding the divine cane of Hermes. And if we investigate closer, we notice that there is something on the end of the staff. And just like that, we've found the key we needed for that particular door in the box puzzle. And well, no fuss, no muss. Let's go ahead and head up there. And as you can assume, it wasn't going to be that easy. It's time for the actual boss fight with Debilitas. There is no way to escape from this. But, well, we kind of had to use a little bit of our smarts as, well, fighting Debilitas straight on might be kind of tedious. And you may have already noticed that, well, Debilitas managed to smash something on that particular column. And on the opposing column there is another similar looking mechanism. And that's actually what we're going to need to smash, but as you can see there is some measure of difficulty in doing that. It does get a bit easier if we use Fiona's dodging abilities, but it actually does require a certain amount of stamina to use. And as you can already tell, with the strength of Debilitas, he has whittled us down pretty quickly and also caused us to go in full-blown panic. Yeah, even for a first boss fight, this can be a very large hurdle for the starting player. So at least to get our panic down, I'm going to go ahead and use that Sedatio we made earlier. But I guess this does give me a good opportunity to explain some of the rest of the attacks that Debilitas has. You can see he has that headbutt when he slaps the sides of his head. He has a bear hug, which can be very damaging, and it also knocks you to the ground. I think that's actually considered his power move. Each stalker does have one, and it's usually very damaging. He also has a 3-hit combo, and I'm wanting to say he does have a double axe handle overhand swing that he'll do, but I don't know if he actually did it. But I know it doesn't look like it, but usually the best thing you want to do is to actually have him use that running headbutt into the mechanism there, but well, you definitely don't want to do it close up. It's a lot harder to dodge than it may seem, and well, sometimes it can just be very difficult, especially if Huey gets in the way. Well, there we go.
It's okay, Huey. He can't come after us anymore. Good boy. Calm down, Huey. It's over. It's okay, Huey. It's okay.
Jeez, even after all that, we still didn't manage to kill Debilitas. There must be an easier way to have done that. And you know what? It's up to me to show you how. So, first thing is first, we're going to actually equip some of those special items that we unlocked with the plate keys. First, we are going to put on our alchemist earrings, also our diamond choker. But more importantly, we are going to go ahead and put on those nice burst shoes. Now, while the description of the burst shoes may make them seem like the best thing ever, the one thing to keep in mind is that, well, the explosion effect isn't always 100%. It's more, well, just incredibly random. I don't think there's any actual percentage chance for when they'll happen. But it is time to just lay on all the damage we can into Debilitas. It does give me a bit of an opportunity to explain, well, Huey's ability to do power attacks. Now you may notice that occasionally Huey will growl, and in the case of an enemy or a stalker having its back to Huey, he can actually jump on their backs, gnash into them with all of his power, and he will usually not suffer any damage as opposed to trying to attack someone from head on. But that doesn't really lower the, well, danger potentiality in this particular fight. And there you saw that little explosion. That's from the burst shoes. But by actually damaging Debilitas enough, we actually kill him. But I don't know, I feel kind of bad doing that, and there are a few bonuses for not killing him. So what we're going to do is we're going to go check those out right now before we head to that door that we got the key for. And the first place we're going to head for that is back to that ladder we had as a shortcut to the second floor of the music room. I actually didn't investigate over in this further area here, and there is a mildly good reason for that whenever we're getting chased around by Debilitas. It's mostly due to the fact that there is nothing worthwhile over this direction. Yes, an onion. An onion is much like beef jerky or the chicken jerky, except it will actually make Huey mad at us, so we actually don't ever want to use that. Over in this very large shack, we find, well, this is Debilitas' home. And guess who is here? After getting a horrible chandelier beat down from us, it's good old Debilitas. Yes, it seemed that Debilitas has finally learned his lesson. He's not actually going to be a danger to us anymore, and, well, I guess it's for the best that we didn't kill him. He probably didn't deserve it. But with that weird, mysterious key in hand, we're actually going to head back to that locked door we had near the kitchen. I did make that rest plate in the interim from all the running around from before. And behind this door we actually find a new mechanic of the game, and it's one that can actually be fairly life-saving in some situations. I also find yet another nice item. I think I ended up using a chamomile, so it is nice to get one back. But in this particular bathroom we find a sink. Now, what's the use of a sink, you might ask? Are we going to wash our face? No, we're actually going to be drinking from it. And this is actually a full restore. It will fully restore our calm, and it will fully restore our stamina, and both of these are very important. Since you've already been probably able to tell, we don't actually get a lot of regenerative items. So the sink or any source of water is pretty much a godsend if you can find it. We Also find a few little closets over this way. Nothing in this one. Nothing in the second one. And I call over Huey because I was almost fairly certain there was a hidden item in this middle closet here. But no, it was actually just outside. Yeah, this is one of the few examples I'll show of the invisible items. They are kinda difficult to find sometimes, and usually they're not worth it. They're usually just another medallion. But what we actually came down here for is this far left-hand closet. It's locked. It doesn't tell us what the key is, but this is actually what we're going to use that smudged key for. I guess you were just supposed to assume by this point that this was the only locked door left you had, even though I'm not sure if maybe you would have thought to hold on to it for some later point in the game. That what we find down this secret corridor here is two very interesting items. First one being the castle gate key, which while I will explain way further in the game, but something we'll find a little bit more use for a little sooner. These metal boots. As opposed to the burst boots, the metal boots give you a permanent damage increase and will rarely cause you to do a power attack. But with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and get the hell out of here.
Dinner is served, miss. Dinner is served, miss. My creator said he made me the perfect woman. But I cannot taste or experience pleasure or feel pain. Well, thanks for the meal. I am not complete.
So I'm assuming out of sheer courtesy, Fiona decided to go back with Daniela and sit down to a hearty bowl of mom's stew. But as one can assume, that really doesn't agree with Fiona's stomach. I mean, even if you don't investigate the pot earlier, just something about the stew just doesn't sit right. And as such, we're really not in a state to do anything. We can't run, we can't really investigate anything. And well, there's really not anything else we can do. So I guess we're just going to call it a video for right now, and hopefully you'll join me next time for more Haunting Ground.